Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing. But it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host, and I'm here with my sidekick, Tony Mary. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm on the walker. But I'm still here because you know what? These folks, we talk about the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. We are watching right now elected officials, and we're calling out all veterans everywhere in the country. I don't care what party affiliation you might be with. Look at what the party, the GOP, is doing to your livelihood right now. You got paid. You get paid this week, but if they shut down the government, you ain't gonna get paid next time. And you got people in there that want to shut down the government for no other reason than they are trying to destroy the government in this country. Just let's face some facts. What other reason would they be wanting to have a sham impeachment of a sitting president when the budget is due?
Exactly.
That should be what they're working on. I think that's what we elected them to do. To go to Washington to run our government the way we served in the U.S. military. There's no sense in we sitting back as veterans accepting this malfeasance on the part of our elected officials. We done elected the wrong people in office. They don't have any allegiance to this Constitution or government that we have served for, that we have rendered our lives for. And now we're confronted with them just don't want to negotiate with the other parties. I thought the two-party system was to keep a balance and thinking in the country, not for one party to dominate and to tell the rest of us what to do. We got people in government positions right now. They're only there because it gives them a sense of power. Mm-hmm. And it does. Now we got to realize this, folks. It gives them a sense of power because if they got charge of the government, they can do what they want with the government, and we can't be naive about that. These people are speaking out against the U.S. military. Right now, you got one senator that's upholding the promotions in the U.S. military.
Exactly.
Why? Because of his political views and because he has the power to do so? I mean, come on, folks. We cannot keep sitting back and allowing this to happen and act like we don't know any better. We know better. If you would have did that when you was in the military, you got an Article 15, or probably court-martial. Mm-hmm. Because you was not doing what you was in the military to do. They are in government to do what we elected them to do. Now they on some kind of little, I don't know what it is, Tony. Can you give me some help, man? I'm telling you, man, I'm upset with this mess.
It's really hard to understand what their intentions are because they are as varied as the number of people that are fighting against the government. Mm-hmm. You have one or two only concerned with state rights. The other two are concerned with federal rights. There are a group that don't even want the government to operate. And that's where we find ourselves today in a situation where we have a political party that is choosing not to govern. They are making that decision. Yes, they were elected to do that, but they're choosing not to govern.
Now, this is why I can't understand these 700,000 veterans in the state of Georgia. We got some people that is from the state of Georgia that's doing this.
Yes.
That's from the state of Georgia. Knowing all the time that it's going to impact their quality of life. If the military don't get paid, veterans don't get paid, that means none of the hospital workers at the VA are going to be paid.
Yeah.
I mean, the VA is already in shambles. We already got the worst how bad it's gonna get right now. We got these kind of people running our government. But let me say this. Let me get off this horse because we can't ride this horse too far. right now. We got one of our leaders in the house. Clear, please come on up, baby. We got a blessing. This is one not just a leader in the community, but a former elected leader of our city of Atlanta. And I'm gonna say this: she bring a lot to the table because see, I used to live in her district, and we
That's right.
listen. I'm gonna tell you what, we used to argue all the time, but then we worked together. See,
That's right.
We clean up. We got community service work. Then we're gonna talk about that too, because see, I got a problem with Fulton County Jail.
Yeah.
See, Fulton County Jail could do better if they didn't just lock up everybody that, some of those people don't need to be in jail. They could be out on their own reconnaissance.
Right.
Right. I mean, come on, folks. We got to stop this here. We got to get leaders in our government that work like you.
Yeah. So let me, and good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to the people out in TV land. So one of the, I used to work at Fulton County. I don't know if I ever told you that. I was there almost 10 years. I worked for the Board of Commissioners. So at that time, the reason they have, it's not a new jail now, but the reason they have the jail they have now is because the inmates sued the county for overcrowding, which is what they have now, and for health care. And guess what? The inmates won both suits. So then they had to build a new jail, but they were trying to save money, so they didn't build a jail that was large enough. They pulled back on the number, And if they had done that, we wouldn't be in this predicament. So now we're back where we were 40 years ago in 1982. Okay, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
We're going around in a circle. Now, of course, all of those commissioners, they're gone.
Right.
So we got a new set in. But anytime there are 10 people that, for some reason, die in a jail, we know what the one cause was. That was bed bugs. We don't know what the other 9 causes were. Then you've got to spend the money. People will understand. You go out and you say, we've got to have a new jail because the violent criminal is being let out, not the one with the misdemeanors.
Right, exactly.
The violent criminal is being let out. Exactly. So those are the ones we want to keep in jail.
And and you know what? As a community, we need to speak up because see, some of those people that died shouldn't even been in jail.
Exactly.
They could have been out on that. Listen, we need a community service component in the jail system.
Right.
Where these people that have got little minor mistakes, we can keep up with them by putting them on community service.
Exactly.
Put them on community service. Put them at work in their communities so people can see them.
Right.
Sometimes you need some shame in the game.
Right.
Rather than just have them locked up in jail and it costs them how much a day for one inmate to cost?
It's $100+ a day. $100+ a day.
It don't make no sense.
Yeah. And initially, Labat, who worked for the city, and I think he thought he was going to be able to change the dynamics of the jail. Fulton County Jail is totally different from the city detention jail. So he had programs in the city detention jail where they were moving people out of homelessness. And people had, through his program, it was a men-to-men program, they got hired by the city. So he would bring them down to City Hall to a public meeting and say, these are the types of programs that we have introduced, that we're putting in place that are working. So he had blacks and whites working for the city. And so I think he thought he was going to be able to do that at the Fulton County Jail, but that's a different animal.
Yes.
And I think he's unfortunately he's found that out.
And he's being frustrated too.
Right, he's frustrated. He's frustrated. He's frustrated.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go because he thought he was going to be able to go in there and take the low-level offenders and offer them something better. Okay, and it just hadn't worked out.
And one of the reasons is because of Fulton County government construct. Really. I sit on. Tony, let's talk about it.
Okay, yeah, because you
we sit on Fulton County board now as the Veteran Empowerment Commission to advise the county on issues of veterans. Man, we ain't supposed to ain't got time for us.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even have time to listen at nothing because they're so caught up in other issues that's really not concerning with all the people in Fulton County.
Right.
Now, Marvin Anderson Jr. put together the program like we dreamed he would, and if they would work it the way it's put together. It would eliminate homelessness in not just the veteran community, but all of Fulton County.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing he did was put together a program, and he funded it. It wasn't in name only.
Right.
There are $2 million already in the community.
That's
as
great.
A result
That's
of
great.
It.
That's great.
And then we got people sitting on that, what they're faking or something. But what we got to do, we got to come to an agreement in the community that our democracy really is at stake with these folks.
Yes.
I mean, we can laugh and joke and have fun with it, but the reality of it is, these people want a new sense of government because what they recognized when Barack Obama became president, y'all boy got out of place. You done got out of place. And we're going to keep getting out of place because we want that equal opportunity that the Constitution promised us and our ancestors died enslaved for. We're going to have it.
Right.
Sorry about that, y'all.
No, that's good because, so let me say this. When we're working with either homeless vets or those persons who are just homeless, they're not vets, we've got to be able to offer them job training. You can't just put them in a house.
You just put them
exactly.
That's not going to work. Because
the crime, what you're talking about, the crime of it all is that you gave us a whole list of employers that's looking for workers.
Yes, I did.
We got workers shortage.
Yes,
and we got people sitting up in the prison system that shouldn't even be there. They could be out working, helping take care of their family.
Right.
We need a new kind of politician. Somebody can look like Jose Williams. Let me stop and start you. Because I mean, I'm just used to. I love my hometown. And when they talk about Atlanta being slow, that's because they don't know. I love this city. You know, I had the opportunity to travel other places and been outside of the country. I want to always come back to the ATA.
Yeah, it's a great
because
city.
of the opportunity and the people.
Yes.
See, one of the things we done let this demagogue got into the spirit of the Old South and woke it up. Like, you know, it was always humbling there. You know, he done got in there and he done said the right thing and they recognize him. This is Richard Rich. Y'all remember Cartoon Little Boy?
Yeah, I remember. That's why I'm laughing. Hadn't heard that to say it in a while.
But see, what they forgot is that, look at truth. Look at truth. You know, slavery was wrong. And God made that, make it right. The bottom is the top now. And we just got to accept it. They see all these beautiful black people running government everywhere.
Right.
Exactly.
And look at the military. It's so diverse. You got all colors. It look like the community.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
It looked like what King was talking about, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a melting pot. It's a melting pot of everybody. Asians,
Everybody.
Hispanics, blacks, whites.
And Dr. King said, when all God's people come together,
Exactly.
what a time it's going to be.
Yeah.
And we got to recognize that as veterans because, see, we was the experiment.
Right.
Yes.
We was the first line of integration.
And it worked.
It worked so good. Look at the military. Look at where's that boy from Georgia that's running stuff up there? From Georgia.
Yeah.
Secretary of Defense.
No, Secretary of Defense. Okay.
Secretary of Defense.
Okay. He's from Georgia. Really?
Yeah, he grew up in
That's
Georgia.
great. Oh, that's wonderful.
You know, so we they looking at all of these brilliant, brilliancy, and then they want to talk about. I guess after a while they're gonna say we got it out of slavery.
Yeah.
Well, we might have learned it out of slavery.
Right.
We got it out of us.
Yes.
Right.
See, that's what God put in us, and we got to recognize that.
Yeah.
See, we are the most loving people on planet Earth.
Yeah.
We're the most loving and forgiving people on planet Earth. We got to forgive ourselves.
Right.
You know, so we can start having communication in our community about this black on black crime in the community.
Right. And we have to attack that ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. See, we jump up and down when the Caucasian
Kills.
kills us, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
Okay, rightfully so. But we
Rightfully so.
also need to jump up and down when we're killing each other.
Exactly.
We have to be responsible for ourselves.
Yeah.
The greater society isn't going to come in and clean up
No.
our communities. We've got to do it by volunteerism, what all of you do
Right.
with your vets. We have to do it on our end with young people and show them a different way,
Yeah.
okay?
She talking about the Sons of Atlanta. Second page. She done talk about that's the whole project. See, we just not building a monument in the park with the Sons of Atlanta.
Right,
you know.
right.
That's establishing the fact that we are better together. Because, and you pointed this out to us, that I think that made it go forward with the city. They had got it mixed up like it was a black project.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yes.
Because they never went to the website.
Yeah.
Right.
And now I want them to go to the website. I want them to see this here. This is what hurt me so bad. Most of these young men died before they were 21 years old. They never had the right to vote.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
They never had the right to vote.
Some never
We
did,
got to
right.
vote for them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We got to
Right.
vote for
That's
them.
right.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
because what they serve for, what they died for, is the democracy that we got.
That's right.
That these people want to take away from us.
They want to take it away.
Yeah.
See, that's why
And
we
they
want to
form a new government.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah. And that's why we got to make it local.
Yes.
We got to make this memorial thing local, because when you go to D.C., man, that wall's so incompetent.
Oh, my
I get up
goodness.
there, it broke my heart because I know too many people on there.
Yeah.
And I can't do nothing about all of them,
Yeah.
but I can do something about those
Right.
from my hometown. I can speak for them.
You know, when I went to the Vietnam Wall, okay, and it's been some years ago, it was such a personal experience. It was almost as if the spirits of those guys are there.
Yes.
It is, I can't really explain it.
Well,
but when I got
their
there,
spirits are there.
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah.
going to be in Piedmont Park.
Right,
The
yeah.
spirit of these young men that came out of
that's
this
right,
community.
that's
Yes.
right.
And we are
right.
encouraging every community to do this because we got to be able to understand the sacrifice.
Yes.
See, we don't forget too much when we know people. You know, but this big old wall, you see them, they was good guys.
Yeah.
They're going back home in this kind of wash. They don't connect it with what's going on in America today.
Exactly.
It's still that wall of the South trying to raise his head. And we get demagogues that come along that know how to just reach in there and just twist it. And got people hating on each other because
Right,
of color of
exactly.
skin.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
but I'll let no man drag me so low as to make me hate them.
You really?
Come on, man, we ain't like that.
Right,
You
right.
know, what we got to be about is men in our community to the point that we gonna be able to talk truth to power in the community.
Yes.
Because
yes.
see, one of the reasons I noticed that the killings are so hard to address in the community because they're people that know each other.
Yes, they know each other.
Yep.
See, and that's what
That's
we got.
right.
So the preacher got to come on now, y'all.
Right, right. We need to do. When I first got in office, we used to do conflict resolution. So we had grants where there was a center. I don't remember the name of it, but that was early in the game before all of this violence started. But we need to go back to that, and so that people can sit down and really understand how we negotiate conflict resolution without a gun.
And I'm gonna tell you something. You said something that Coach Baker. I never forget Coach Baker at Washington High School. When you had a conflict, he get your glove and put you in the ring.
Okay.
And then when you get out, he gonna talk to you, make you understand you the fight's over.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
If you don't feel thought you win today, you come back again tomorrow, but it's over.
It's over. That's right. That's right.
You know, whatever that little beef y'all had, it's over.
It's over. That's right.
And he make both of us stand there and shake hands. Cause we done got in the ring and done beat up on each other.
Right.
You can't do no better.
That's right.
You know, but see what has happened. These people have infected all of our institutions with that mess.
Yes.
See, while we was progressing, right? They was regressing.
Right.
They
trying
sitting
to
in
pull
office
us
space
back
behind us
down.
with us,
Yeah.
and you know they secretly, you know, just hating on what they see.
Right.
Black people coming into
Right.
government, into business, and listen. You made too many billionaires and millionaires too fast, boy.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you got out of place there.
Right.
Because you know what you're doing. You cutting into my store.
Cutting into my profit.
My profit.
Yeah.
And so
You're
we
moving
got
into my neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes.
So we got to what they fear most ain't happening yet. But when you start seeing LeBron James coming up, you know, when they gonna take some of their rich and fame and invest in educating
Right.
children.
Right. That's important.
So see what you got some people right now don't want us to educate our children. And you know, Tony, we see it probably more now than we ever seen it. We are just learning about some of the black military units that was existence during that segregated time period. Outstanding soldiers. We never,
Heroes.
Right.
They were
Right.
heroes.
And
they played major parts in every battle.
Right.
But you can't see it in the history.
Right.
Yep.
That's true.
See, and that's what they want to do. They want to wipe it.
Wipe it out. Wipe it out.
Yeah.
And we can't let them do that. See, that's why we're talking about the Sons of Atlanta. And I had a guy from, and I hope he's watching, from Douglasville wrote me, Tony. You know, they deactivated the Douglasville chapter, so he wanted to be with Vietnam era veterans. Told him to come on over. But now, something else is happening at this meeting next Saturday. This organization is going around the state recognizing and honoring Vietnam veterans, so they're going to be at our meeting next Saturday to honor us.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Now, this is
Congratulations.
camera. I
Yes.
know she's going around the state. They're doing it for every state all across the country. Why? Because everybody recognized that our generation started something that's still growing. See, we got in. I can remember the first racial encounter I had. It was with a white boy that wouldn't let me whoop him. He wouldn't, and I wouldn't gonna let him beat me. The fight just went on and on all over the barracks and everything. Then we wound up being friends.
No.
Yeah.
You know, we wound up having some respect for
Right.
each other.
Right.
You know, and that's what we learned in the military, that we can all get along. You know, we might have some differences, but we find out we got more in common than we have in differences.
That's
And if
true.
we can communicate around that with veterans now, to get them to see that we ain't going back.
Right.
See, they need, and all of us need to come together and say, if you're elected to office in this government, our governments, that's like city, county, state, and federal, you're going to follow the Constitution.
Right. That's right.
Just like I did, just like you did, just like every military person did. You're going to keep your office. If you don't, there's going to be an immediate
Yes. Yeah.
reaction.
You are no longer qualified to serve
Unfit
in
to serve.
office under this government.
Right.
This government.
You're right. You
Right.
are unfit to serve
Right.
and do the same thing to them that they would do in the military.
How many dishonorable discharges
Exactly.
we got walking right up down Cleveland Avenue?
Yes.
You know, that's one of the problems with homeless veterans.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys got bad discharges, and all of them wasn't fair.
Right.
Some of them was based on racism.
Yes.
See, what we got to do is tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yeah.
You know, see, just because you tell the truth, that don't mean you're hostile.
Right.
No.
Right.
You're
Right.
just trying to get people to tell this.
Right.
This is the truth. The Constitution says equal opportunities for everybody.
Yes.
When we get them equal opportunities, we got a Barack Obama.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? We got a John Lewis.
Right.
We got a Cleo Winslow. See, we got to understand that this is our time now. You know, this is our time. And if you don't believe me, look at all these sisters and it's few brothers now. I'm kind of disappointed in a lot of them because some of us have gone over there to the other side. I look at Tim Scott and I pray.
But
You know, and then I look at a lot of people that have gone over to the other side, even though they see this lie.
Yeah.
They going over to the other side. They can't say, wait a minute. My mama used to be a Republican. So I think she was a Republican when she died. You know, because most black people used to be Republicans.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
the Democrats were the devils back then.
Right, that's right. The
Especially the
Dixiecrats.
Southern
The
Democrats.
Dixiecrats. That's what they call them. That's what they
Dixiecrats.
call
So we
them.
got
Yeah.
to be able to speak truth to power and bring our people together. Everybody got something they can do.
Yes.
Everybody can't do the same thing.
Right.
And we got to recognize that. Just like a good, look, you see them braids, man? Listen, I'm telling you,
He's a baseball
topic.
player. He's a
Stay on
baseball
topic.
but I'm telling you, where they play together.
Yes.
That's why they win and
That's
they play
right.
well
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
I wish the pastors would do that. You know, I wish the pastors
Stay on topic.
like, you know, like this brother said, say, if you're from Atlanta, you love Atlanta. You can't help yourself. You know, you're going to talk about all the good things that you know this city do, and you'll cry when you recognize that 3 young men got killed in the West End.
Yeah.
You know,
Last weekend.
Yeah,
Last
Last
weekend.
weekend.
Last
that hurts
weekend.
my heart because
Yes.
that's where I grew up.
Yes.
Right.
That's my neighborhood.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
we got to find a way to start talking to our young people. First of all, we got to do some legal moves to get these automatic weapons out
Of their
our
hands.
community.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Period.
That's right. Yeah.
Don't nobody need no automatic weapon in the community.
No.
It's a war weapon.
Yes.
That's right.
That's what I used in Vietnam.
Yeah.
I was in war. My community is like a war zone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You know, I know veterans, we got to come together with our communities, you know, with leaders like this in our community, people that not only speak out, but stand out. So stand out for the truth. Because see, what we got right now in the city of Atlanta, the city owns more buildings with the lights on, the water running right now, and we got homeless people. Why are we talking about putting them in $2,000 hotel? Apartments? Why can't we just get them off the street, put them in a warehouse, get a bedroom, set up programs so you can work them into their own
That's
homes?
it.
And then give them the reward. The big reward is you get your own place.
Right.
Get your
Yeah.
own place.
Now, if you start them out with the big reward, what do they have to look for?
That's it. Everything else is downhill.
It's down here.
Downhill.
You want me to get a job for what?
Yeah.
You gave me a house.
Look what you just
And I-
gave me.
Right,
Yeah.
and I
And
don't
then you
have
gonna-
to
you
do
gonna get- you
anything
gonna
to
get
keep it up. I don't have to do anything for it,
Yeah.
but just breathe in and out,
Yeah.
and you gonna come and take care of me
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
That shouldn't be the way that
Yeah.
It
it should
shouldn't
be.
work like that because
No.
see, you build up an attitude of entitlement.
That's
Exactly.
it. Yes.
You know, and we, you know, like God gave this to all of us.
Right.
You know, we just had some people that were so manipulative, they got the big piece and they never made the rest of it. We got to get back to what we knew during segregation, how to look out for our neighbors,
Exactly.
how
Yes.
to look out for our community.
Right. Exactly.
I know, listen, my grandmama will whoop you if you come told on. She come tell us something if you want to. Big mama, oh girl, come here. You ain't got no business telling nothing on nobody. Keep your mouth closed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, because we was like that doing, and we had to be like that to survive.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you had a Jim Crow law that let the Ku Klux run through our community like they want to.
Right,
Black
right.
Whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And there was no law to protect us.
Right.
Now that we got laws that gonna protect us, let us grow.
Yeah.
Right.
Let us be full citizens. You know, don't treat us like this because of the color of our skin. I'd rather follow him in combat than to follow any other captain I know.
Right.
That's it.
Because I read it.
Yes.
Listen, man. I would have wanted to follow him. I would want him to be my common commander.
Yeah.
You know what we got to get away from is that some kind of way, because we have been underserved, we are underdeserved.
Yes.
See, we some of us think because we underserved, we underdeserved.
We don't deserve it.
no
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got to let them know, first of all, we're all God's creation. So they got to look over God's mistake if he made one. I don't think he made now. Really.
No, he didn't make any mistake. We make the mistake once we get here.
Once
Yeah,
we get here.
Okay,
Yeah.
and go crazy and do
Now,
crazy
you
things.
was talking about this piano stuff, man. Come on.
Yeah. So real quickly, so there's a young man that lives in West End. His name is Kevy Williams. Now he comes from military family. His dad was in the military. other relatives were in the military, and he gives back to the community every year. So he's got this Music in the Park, which is a free event. It's happening next Sunday, October 8th. And so there are going to be internationally known jazz artists like Julie Dexter. People know that name.
Right.
She's going to be there. And they're going to be performing on People Street between Ralph David Abernathy and White Street in the West End, free of charge. Free, and they're going to have young people there performing as well. So he works with a lot of young people. But he's from a military family, and so there are going to be other artists there who have served in the military. Their families have served in the military. So it's going to be an opportunity for people to come and listen to some free jazz on October 8th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And they're going to be on people's porches. And so people can come and listen to it and, move around. And it's going to highlight veterans, and the things that they're doing, that they're expressing themselves through music. That's important.
Yes.
And so Kepi is a Grammy award-winning jazz saxophonist right here in Atlanta. It's not hip-hop music.
Right.
It's not rap. It's going back to what we actually created as black people. We created jazz back in the teens and in the 20s.
Yes.
Okay, with Louis Armstrong and Billie
Ella
Holiday
Fitzgerald.
and Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
All of these wonderful artists. Okay, and so we wanted to give him just a little shout out. And it's next Sunday, October 8th. It's free. It's on People Street. And so we hope that the public will come out and support this young man, because he's doing great things and he's giving back. He doesn't talk a lot. He just does a lot.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's giving back to our young people, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Because, see, one of the things that we need is good music in the community, man.
Yeah.
The music problem in our community is contributing to the gang problem, the violence problem, the irresponsibility problem, and that's a sad way for music to turn.
Right. Right.
But I mean, because they made so much money with it, it's hard for them to turn away from it.
They can't turn away from that money.
We got to talk. I remember when we had the warehouse over on Ralph David Abernathy. I had a studio, and that's where kids come in to do their
Really?
music. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had all these signs around: no profanity, no vulgarity.
That's right.
Have a good time, no fights.
Right.
I come in there one day, and I just went in there and pulled the plug.
Right.
They looked at me. I said, I tell you what, y'all need to do. You first know how to read, because I know I got signs all around, and you didn't obey my signs, so get out of my building.
Right.
And now, wait before you go. You can come back when you repent. Stop there, The next day I came back. Up there, they were gone, man. They saying no vulgarity, no profanity, because see, we didn't stop them children from doing that when they started it.
Right. Right.
And the devil say, oh, that's a good way to tear down you just tear it down.
Right. Right.
And so they start putting money in it. They get their money in it. Now everybody, listen, I got a little cousin, man, he could be the next OJ. But he just got put out of school because he's in a gang.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, Scott's looking at him already. I don't want to go back. What we got to do, we got to reach our children.
We do.
And the only way we're going to reach our children is through the family.
Right.
And ain't but one way through the family, and that's through the church.
That's yes.
That's why I love Greg Fan, the preacher man.
Oh yeah.
That's why I love my brother. There's some preachers in this city I love too. They listen, they ain't just
Greg
preaching.
is special.
Mr.
East Point.
Yeah. That's my pastor. See, what we have to realize that we still got great people that work in our community. We just got to work with them.
Right.
We got to really look around and see what they're saying and say, okay, his ministry. I was a member of Greg's church and still a member from when it was a house. Right, that's where he built the church at. It was a house. It was a house.
Okay.
And he developed that house into the church that it is now. That's where he do straight talk from.
Yeah.
Oh, Metropolitan.
Oh, Metropolitan.
Oh, Metropolitan. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, you know, but I know Greg family though. See, we went to why now?
Okay.
You know, these just my homeboys. I'm just saying, but we got some great leaders, and we need to get like this boy that make amends, Derek Bowman.
Oh yes.
Now,
yes.
you know, we
He's
need
wonderful.
to get behind people like that.
That's right.
You know, that's already reaching out there and got some track record of doing what we need doing.
Doing right.
So
right.
see, the family structure has changed. You
It
know,
has.
not just the community structure, Tony. Our
The
family
family,
structure has changed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, man, I just thought about that. I don't even want to say it.
It's changed a lot.
No, I'm just thinking about my own family structure.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of my granddaughters are married.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not the only one.
And all
Right.
of them got children.
Right. Right.
But it's community wide. It's you.
Right.
Your family is not the only one. It's the Atlanta black community that we know about and recognize.
Yeah. And we got the church got to get back on it. I'm just say that. You know, we got to have more Liberty International churches, small churches that working in the community, preachers that ain't scared to preach.
Yeah.
You know, the small churches do, and I don't mean to say anything negative about the large churches, but sometimes the small churches are able to do outreach and pull our young people in, okay? Because there's not as much of a distraction, I think.
Right.
And so I've noticed that over in Pittsburgh community, a lot of small churches have done great things in that neighborhood. You don't hear about kids going astray in that community because the neighborhood and the churches, they work together.
Yes.
They work together.
And
that's what we grew up under.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
We grew up on
migration. And we don't want to talk about it, but migration and integration.
Yeah, people.
You know, where we saw people start looking at people that look different from us, and we want to treat them different from us. See, and we got to recognize that we got some issues
Yes.
Right.
that we have to grow with.
Right,
You know, as a
right.
people. You know, and I mean, those issues got to come from the church and the school, because it ain't gonna be no overnight. Thing
no.
now.
No,
Not
no,
the way
no.
it's making. Because see, the forces that's against us are very powerful.
Yes, they are.
They're
They
very
are.
powerful, and we got to be strategic, you know, and organized, and putting our community together on the basis of truth, you know, and all these conspiracy theories and hating people because of their color of their skin or where they come from, we got to dip that.
Right.
We got this.
That doesn't get us anywhere.
Don't get us
In
nowhere.
fact, it's pushing us further back.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Because
know.
we
yeah.
are falling into the trap that they set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And that's why I was saying that we got to start with the U.S. military, with veterans, trying to get the community together, because we know we can all get along. Every one of us got at least one or two white boys we can call.
Right.
Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
Military.
Right, right. And they'll be there
We need
for
to
you.
call them
Yeah.
and say, man, what's going on in your hood?
Right, right.
We don't
right.
talk like that.
Yeah.
We talk about this stuff, we personal little stuff. But
Right.
what's going on in your hood?
Yeah.
You know, how you voting?
Yep.
Right.
I know our vice president done cold went Reagan. I mean Trump. He been lifted up. He lift Trump up every time and I say I don't say nothing to him. I just let him go around.
Right.
Okay, Paul. You know, the VA is still the same VA we've been fighting for years. That's just because you got yours, they gave it to us because we're old.
Yeah.
Right.
But we got some young folks out there that's killing themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are every day.
Every day.
Listen, there are more young people dying now than there are seniors.
Yeah.
More young people dying
Yeah.
under the age of 30. Under the age of 30.
So we got to get Kevin.
Kevin Williams.
We got to get Kevin on the show one day.
Yeah, he's been out of town.
And you know, try to help him understand that music is a way of life, and that's you know, in the military community, veterans, that's what we did with music. I remember what the first day I got to Vietnam, I heard James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud. I knew I wasn't in a bad place.
Right.
I knew then I could survive just him because I hear something I know about.
Right.
You know. What you laughing about, Trey? Because Tracy was a captain in Vietnam Special Forces.
Okay.
So he had to have men up under him. See, I didn't have nobody up under me. I got to be a special spec folk. You know, when I got to Vietnam, I was PFC. Okay. Then I made spec folk, and I got wounded, and it was over. I want to get out of it. I'm ready to go home now. All that soldier want to go.
Right. Yeah. All that being brave, that went out the window.
Listen, they shooting back.
That's right.
And that's what we got to realize, that these people that are on this extreme view of what they with our government, they don't have any problems with advocating war, advocating violence, but they don't know the level of violence that they're advocating.
Right.
Exactly.
They truly don't know the level of violence that they're advocating, because see, they got some Hollywood notion of the response of the victim. We're soldiers now.
Yes.
Right.
We got soldiers in the community that could take care. One soldier could take care of a whole block. You know, that's the training that we bring to the table.
Right.
You know, so they need to think about a little bit. You know, and think friendly. We are all in it together. If the U.S. government go down in smoke, that means that we're all in an uncertain future.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely uncertain future. Because we see what's happening into European countries all over where these extremists are popping up. Even in Israel.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yes.
You know, you never would have thought that. You know, the way Israel is supposed to be aligned with the order of God, that they would be going to the extreme views of humanity.
Right. But they are.
We got to remind ourselves of this. If we don't act to protect our government with the boat, I'm talking about with the boat. We got to rally everybody together. Not just in 2024. I'm talking about Georgia got some elections in 2023.
Yes.
And we need to filter. We need to look at every one of these elections. And if they got these extremists running for office, we need to make sure they don't win.
Right.
That's the way you beat them.
Yeah.
You know, take them out. Every vote count. And let me say this, son. The nation is so evenly yoked with the parties that the independent population has grown.
Yeah.
So that means that we got a great chance of wooing enough people to make sure we have an overwhelming defeat of the Republican Party on every level of government. And for the sake of the Republican Party, we need to do that.
Right.
You know, we need to fix it where it ain't got no power in their government, and then let it rebuild.
Right.
You know, I mean, the Republican Party, I think, should exist. I just think that we need a two-party system. But we don't need a party that's anti our constitutional structure of government and that would tolerate somebody that's not.
Right.
Now, they see all this man's charges, right? If you get charged like that, you couldn't go in the store and say you finna buy a gun.
No.
Right. You go in the store and hold on, you got 90-some counts of criminal charges on you, and you usually gonna show a disrespect for the law.
Right.
You know, you're gonna show a disrespect for the law by threatening witnesses, threatening judges, threatening prosecutors.
Yes.
And then the ugly part about it, we got elected officials in the state of Georgia that have come up with some legislation that Brian Kemp stood up against. And man, Brian Kemp impressed me a little bit more every day.
Right.
Because he said, I don't see no reason for that to be with her. I mean, and that's being truthful. There's no reason. He know that there's some BS.
Right.
And we need to make sure that these people understand this. If you shut down the government, pack your bags.
That's right.
Pack your bag.
Yeah. And some of them just refuse
Yes.
to vote right in the right. What's for the good of the country.
Country. Yes.
And that oath said they will protect the government. They ain't not to
Right.
shut the government down.
Right. They're not. They're looking at how do I feel? You're not in there for how you feel.
right.
You're supposed to be representing your constituents.
Exactly.
Okay, not
Yes.
yourself, your constituents.
Exactly.
Not one individual,
But,
your
right.
constituency.
That's
not
right.
your party, but your constituency.
Exactly.
See, I think that veterans should be able to sue, and we're looking seriously at ways that we can sue the individual politicians for their election of duty.
Yeah. Because some of them are. They're going against their oath. Oath of
Exactly.
office. We all have to take an
Exactly.
oath.
Oath of office. They're going against their oath of office, and we should be able to sue them monetarily.
Right.
I think if we start hitting them in the pocket where they think that these billionaires like Trump ain't even pay their legal fees.
Right. He's not going to do it.
He can't pay his own legal fees.
Right. He's got the public paying his legal fees.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're sending their money, and what is he doing with it?
Yeah.
He's paying legal
Legal
fees. That's
fees.
supposed to be campaign money.
Right.
But he's
It's
using it
legal
personally.
fees. Yes.
Yeah.
And now the Constitution says something that if we ain't got people elected to enforce it, we need to enforce it. He's not eligible for office under the 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
Because he's got charges against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then now, and I know this as a fact, when there have been charges brought against other people who have served on a local level, they say you have to step out of your seat.
Right.
You can't sit there right now. You step out of your seat, and we'll put someone in there. Until everything is taken care of through the
Yes.
court system. And that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed
That's
to
how
work.
it's supposed to work. Yeah.
Now do we see it working a different way?
Yes.
And that's troubling to me because our children see the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And what kind of respect they're gonna have for
Right.
the law?
Yeah.
They don't have no respect for authority at all. Now.
Right.
What we've been doing is looking at the forest and missing the tree.
Yep. Yep.
And we're gonna have to stop doing that if we're gonna survive. We have come too far as a people to turn around.
Yep.
Right.
And the thing about it, we owe it to our ancestors.
Yes.
All that they gave us to come up so we can live the kind of. I was looking at my own self. Like, I have had 4 mortgages in my name, and my granddaddy just had 1.
Yeah.
Right. But you've had 4. That's opportunity.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
opportunity.
Yes.
Where you've been able to get a better house, move into a nicer neighborhood. That's opportunity.
That's opportunity.
That's
And that's what they serve for. My granddaddy, he couldn't hardly read and write, but he always wanted me to, you're going to be a learned man. I wanted to know what he was talking about. But he would go buy me all these comic books, and that's what I...
Yeah, but that was good because you were reading.
I was reading.
Yes, you were
I was
reading.
reading, and then
Yeah.
my auntie, she didn't play. She had me trying to learn to read. She didn't play. If I start playing with she get a switch.
Right.
She get a switch.
And that switch worked.
Then nobody say nothing to her about doing it.
Right.
Yes.
It kept us out of jail, kept us out of real serious trouble.
Yes.
Because we knew that if we did something wrong at home, there were going to be consequences. So that taught us if you do something wrong outside the home, there's going to be consequences.
Yes.
But there's going to be greater consequences where your parents can't be there to protect you.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the world is not kind. It's not a kind world. It's a harsh world. And so we have to, our parents prepared us for harshness. This is how it's going to be. Not saying that you're not going to meet kind people along the way who are going to help you. You are. But you're going to meet more people that are not kind than that are kind.
And my dad used to say, don't let nobody make you. You already been made.
You've been made.
Make
That's
yourself.
right.
He said me all the time, he give me a little money for my pocket when I got home. He said, if your little buddies go wrong, Elsa, you come home.
That's right.
Yeah.
If they go,
You can't stop
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But you can't go with them either.
Right.
So you know what's gonna happen to you if you do.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know you got to deal with me and your mom.
That's
and
the way.
that
That's the
thought
way.
was always in the back of your mind.
That's
Just
right.
wanna
You
deal
saw
with
a
folks like that.
you saw a situation developing that you were in. I gotta go.
Yeah, I got to go.
I gotta go.
got to go.
If you had to ease out.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
right.
right. That's right.
I mean, a lot of times I left that bowling alley over there on Chapel Road, man. Left that bowling alley because I saw some stuff and developed on the
Yeah.
split tea because I
Right.
saw some
Yeah,
stuff.
right. Yeah, exactly.
It developed wrong and I got to go home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Ain't
That's
gonna
right.
be good for me at home.
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Ain't gonna be good for me at home. And that's what we want people to understand. We're here every Saturday. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram,
Yep.
and share us with the community. Because see, we're here as a voice for veterans and the community
Yes.
about all things veterans and the community. We are
Right.
here because we care.
Right.
And we are servants of the community. So thank you.
Oh, I enjoy it. I enjoy every time I come
Yeah,
here.
Tony, my sidekick, man.
That's right.
And then Tony, see what you don't understand. We be all over everywhere. We don't just do the TV show.
Yeah.
You know, we go. He represent me at Concerned Black Clergy. Last week he was covering for me at the with the church downtown because I'm on this end right now. So
Right.
I'm a little bashful about it. I don't want
Bashful.
Yeah.
You bashful? Ooh, I hate to say that.
You know, I don't want nobody to see me on the walk. And hopping, that's what that is. You know, that's the old paratrooper mentality.
Exactly.
I'm trying to say you ain't no paratrooper. You're an old man. You say you're an old man, so don't treat yourself like that. You don't become delusional. I just because you're old. But we're thankful for today, Tony. We'll be back here next week. Doing the same thing we're doing, just trying to make sense out of a sensitive situation called the plight of veterans in the USA, and the USA with the plight of veterans. Look at Congress. Don't listen to what they're saying. Look at what they're doing.
Exactly.
Because it's important right now to your income. If they shut down the government, you ain't gonna be able to pay rent next
That's
month.
right. That's right.
They shut down the government, you ain't gonna be able to pay your car note, get gas. It's a problem. Call your congressmen. Call them that ain't your congressman.
Yeah,
Call
really.
them, call all of them, and let them know that this is not what veterans want or need, and we don't want it for the community, and we don't want it for America. So if they shut down the government, tell them to pack their bags. tell them to pack the bag, get ready to come home, because we're gonna do everything we can to vote them out of office.
Right. Because one thing about Congress, they continue to receive their salary
Yes.
even when the government is shut
Shut
down.
down.
Their check keeps coming.
Yes.
Okay, but other people's checks, like the veterans,
Yeah.
they're gonna stop
And so-
as of midnight tonight, September 30th.
Yep.
And this is horrible to be talking about in America. I mean, we're not at war right now.
Right.
So it ain't no national emergency. We've been able to deal with all the natural disasters and the fires and everything. But the government shut down, the federal government shut down, it's going to put more burden on the state and county governments than they can bear.
That's
Yes.
right.
So you need to call your congressmen, call your senators, call everybody. And if you can't, call Donald Trump and tell him to shut up. Tell him to just shut up. Be quiet, man. You know, go on through and try to beat the cases because you ain't gonna be able to get over them. Cause see, I know what's mad with me. All them black people trying to, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's
all
true.
them black people that I guess you have nightmares about that.
Right,
Yep,
right,
yep,
right. But he got recorded. That's the only
Yes.
state. Georgia was the only state that recorded him.
Yes.
Okay?
But that wasn't the only state that he tried.
He
No,
went
no.
to a bunch of states.
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
did.
realize that till things started coming out with this case. But he was calling up
Yes.
12 or 13 different states
Yeah.
to ask them to do the same thing. Change the computer. Change the numbers.
Change whatever you can change. to
Change,
make me win.
exactly. And one thing I say about Brian Kemp, they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it. Man.
Wouldn't do it, no.
I'm gonna just tell you. I hate to say this, you know, but Brian Kempner did two things this year that made me proud of him. So I'm proud of my governor right now.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I'm proud
You
of
know,
my governor right now.
yeah,
you
because
know.
nobody's 100% right, nobody's 100% wrong.
Ain't nobody
Okay?
perfect. Ain't
Right,
nobody
exactly,
perfect. And I mean, I admire for standing up to this a man that's trying to undermine our government.
That's
He's
right.
going to follow the law.
That's right. That's what he's supposed
That's
to do. He's gonna follow his oath that he took.
Yeah.
Next week, same time. Same. What we doing?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.